Hold on.
Oh, look at it. She bought that. Period.
What's the craziest conspiracy theory you think about, but you wouldn't tell nobody?
Conspiracy theory.
Yeah.
You got one tapped in? Craziest conspiracy theory. Pizzagate. They all did that shit. They got the island. Yeah, Bill Gates. Goddamn. The first lady. Goddamn the Trump. Yeah, all of them. They tapped in.
Hey, Mike, what's your worst breakup story?
My worst breakup story? I caught him in bed cheating. Now what's that?
Oh man. That's sad.
Hey.
All right, next question. What's heavier, a pound of pillows or a pound of pennies?
A pound of pennies.
Pound of pennies. This is the last one.
He can't even say it. He's getting down.
I'm not going to answer that question.
Yo, welcome to the New Normal Podcast. I want to tell everybody, thank y'all for tuning in. If you're watching, make sure y'all follow the page. Make sure y'all subscribe. Make sure y'all like the video, and make sure y'all share the video. Also, give us reactions. Put in the comment section how you feeling tonight, where you from, what y'all got planned on later tonight. If you seen the title or the thumbnail, we will be talking about Quiet on Set. Now, I know a lot of people may not have seen it, but I know they've seen the buzz of it and what's going on with Nickelodeon and the child stars and proteges and how they were treated on set and how their parents were piss poor parents. I want to let y'all know that we need to start chipping up people. And we need to start chipping up people because you need to meet a certain criteria before you're able to have children, because we letting anybody have children and do whatever they want with children nowadays. I want to say this is the first time in history that we, the commoners, are allowed to see what the kings and queens are doing in their bedrooms. It has never been a time where you are supposed to know what a Diddy's doing, a Epstein is doing, a Weinstein is doing, but now they're letting us in to the fuckery, the debauchery that goes on in Hollywood, or Hollyweird, that a lot of people like to call it. I'm going to let everybody introduce themselves before we get started. Let's go.
What's happening? It's Christian Jones. Y'all follow me on Facebook at Christian Jones. Follow me on Instagram at Catch My Pics. It's catch_my_pics. Follow me on TikTok at Christian Jones 7. Follow me on what I think that's it. Yeah, that's it.
Hey, y'all.
Wait.
You just did that like a drunk man. Like, why you said it like that?
It's okay. Because I ain't want to get the plane landing sound on me.
Oh, yeah, I keep forgetting to get that.
So I had to go and get it out the way.
Okay.
And it's been a long day, okay?
Drink a little bit of water. Hey, y'all. It's your girl Ashanti. You can find me on all social media platforms at Ashanti Jordan. And yeah.
It is the one. Legacy_made. Follow me on Instagram. Subscribe to the YouTube, The Date Master. We got a good show for you tonight. Let's go.
So, I want to start the show off by talking about how parents seem to live vicariously through their children, especially when it comes to child stars. When we think about this Quiet on Set, when we think about R. Kelly, and we get court documents that show that, there were mothers texting their daughters, showing them how to seduce an R. Kelly, to get an R. Kelly's attention, how that it was rumored that R. Kelly slept with Aaliyah and her mother, how a lot of these women are using their children as pawns to get close to these stars, or to feel proud of their children because they amass certain success. They on the screen, people feel like they've made it, and they also can say and brag at the family reunion about how their child is this and about how their child is that, and they can shit on people with it. But I also want to talk about how so many people that have kids are piss poor parents, how they're weak, how they seem to have no spine or a spaghetti spine. that when it comes to protecting or defending their children, they do nothing at all. One lady on that show said she allowed her daughter to email one of the producers on set and continued to let this go on and thought it was harmless because she looked at a few emails and they was talking about what was going on between them. And then all of a sudden, she sees her daughter run upstairs and shut the computer off. She goes to the computer and then looks at the computer and sees that this man is jacking off and telling her daughter that she wants her. Now, the thing about that is, she didn't report it because she said she didn't want the police to look at her as a bad parent because she allowed her daughter to talk to this man. Now, I don't know what parent in their right mind think is a good idea to allow a child to have correspondence with an adult at any time other than family members, and that can be sketchy at times. What do y'all think? Ashanti, you go first.
Yes, Ashanti, what do you have to say?
Please give me a second.
No.
I'm shocked initially because this lady let her, was it a daughter?
Yeah, her daughter.
Email a producer about what?
They were just emailing because she said it started as they were talking about the show, what could be better and what else they could do, which is harmless at first. But if I wanted my child to talk to a producer, y'all would have to do it like on my phone.
Harmless? I don't think I would agree with harmless. Because how old is the child?
She probably like 10, 11 at the time.
Okay, they're not in the age to negotiate anything. They can't even negotiate how they're going to get up and get to school in the morning, let alone trying to navigate some kind of employer-employee relationship or booking a job, a gig, or something like that, an audition even. So that's inappropriate. But you
don't think a child that's on that set could have some insight on how they can make it better or how they can make it funny, or what they can ask this producer, hey, could you tell such and such to do this, which makes me feel comfortable and easier to perform better?
If that was something that was this child already in the showbiz?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Well, no, they weren't in it. This was like most of the people that was on the show is their first introduction to showbiz.
Well, then no, I don't think that they have the communication skills to say, hey, ask producer this person to do that when you haven't even been around a producer, period.
Mm-hmm.
So no, the inception of it all is inappropriate. Why would you want your kid emailing the grown adult, giving the adult instructions when you have someone inexperienced? That doesn't make any sense to me. Also, I feel like a red flag too. You probably knew that this person had some type of sweet spot for children because you automatically think to let your kid pioneer this connection. That's odd to me.
Well, she said on the show that she was asked before. It was like, oh, my daughter just emailing this person willy-nilly. Like she said, no, the first couple of emails he asked, I was okay with it. I watched them email, and then I guess after so long, she just let them do whatever. And I guess he knew. I'm guessing his timing. He knew that around this time, her mother probably wasn't watching or keeping up with what's going on.
I think that's just bad parenting. Because why, like you said, why is your kid having what I would consider secret conversations with an adult, and it's unbeknownst to you, and it's in your household, and it started? Like, did you not see? Okay, babe, you emailed Mr. Such and Such. Y'all supposed to do the audition on Thursday. Here's Thursday. You do the audition. I feel like any other correspondence need to include me.
That's why I said I could see it maybe on my cell phone. Y'all was having this correspondence, so I could get all the emails and text, and I can go back and look. But you going off on the computer and looking at the email now. Brian said, how old is the kid? 10? Hell no.
Right.
What do y'all think, fellas?
You got to understand, like, it had to be some type of exposure, because you don't just get hooked up with these type of people on the, like, what made your child out of millions of children? They could have went, it's a invitation type of deal. These parents were well aware of what's going on to get in these industries, because you wouldn't be that negligent. So you're going to play the negligent role just in case it get out. You'll make it appear that you was unaware. when you was all aware, you was aware the whole time because your child just didn't get picked out of a hat. It was something that had to be put together like strategically because you wouldn't have found out what you found out.
Then thinking
So
about this.
Kadara said the mama line. What y'all think? Y'all think the
Yeah,
mama was
Of
lying?
course, the mama
'Cause let me
lying. She
tell
trying
you,
to save herself.
I'm a woman too, and I'm just nosy, right?
Mm-hmm.
So my kid talking to somebody that's potentially gonna be some money coming into our household. This little kid, 10 years old, you know how the child parents, child star parents are. They be using that money for their own lifestyle, bills and everything.
Like Britney Spears.
I'll be up in there trying to figure out when the check coming. I'll be looking at them emails as they come in daily. So I do feel like she was aware of what was going on. She just was like, we finna try to push the issue enough to where, hey, now we got you doing something like conversing with a child sexually. Now we got the upper hand. You better go ahead and do what we need to do, or these emails finna come out that you was talking to my 10-year-old child, and I had no clue about it.
But this parent didn't say anything.
Did her kid get the role?
That she was already acting. She was already doing it, so she was already on set. That's what I'm saying. She was already in the show. But she said throughout the course of the show, she thought it was harmless because she has already interacted with the guy. It wasn't like, oh, well, let me get your number and see if I can, or your email to see if it's okay if I can get you on the show. Oh, she was already on the show. She was already acting.
I'm pretty sure that leverage kept her on the show maybe a little bit longer than they probably intended to.
Talking about that conversation.
Yeah. Oh, you think about letting me go? You think about letting my daughter go? Now she's not gonna get up there and tell them.
Was her mama on the set?
Yeah, the mama was on the set.
So who really signing the stuff? Because she can't sign no contracts.
Know what I'm saying?
So you just
she gotta be
you're not present for the development of the show, seeing what the character entails. What is my daughter gonna be doing? What kind of character is she gonna be playing? But you there to sign the contract to make sure the money. So the parents, they always in on it.
I agree. Like I said, I think a lot of parents are living through their children. They're propping their children up. They're using their children as cash cows. And it's sad that we have so many of these stories, so many of them. And what's scary is we can't act as if we don't know what goes on in Hollywood anymore. Like I said, from 2024 and beyond, anybody that gets into music, acting, or any of these entertainment roles and acts naive as if they didn't know that sex parties go on, that if you didn't know you might have to suck some dick, if you didn't know you might have to give up some ass, if you don't know that you might have to do something illegal, like if we cannot act naive going from 2024 and beyond. If you get into these circles, there are freak off parties. Diddy might get locked up, but it's somebody gonna come after him that's gonna be feeling rich and powerful and famous, and they're gonna do the same thing because it's something sick about these people. And also, when they get to a certain status, I don't think regular sex gets them off anymore. I don't think the commoner sex, the man and woman, I think after a while it's like, let me see what I can get out these men. Then after that, it's, let me see what I can get out these children. It gets crazy because these people they're power drunk, I want to say. And they're trying to push the envelope on how far they can go and how far they can get with a lot of the bullshit that they do. What do y'all think?
That freak off just turned my nose every time. Like,
talking about hearing it.
Yes.
Yeah.
I saw some documents recently about Diddy and Young Miami and just like,
y'all seen that meme when LeBron was like, ain't no party like a Diddy party.
Yeah, I seen that meme. I seen it actually right before we started.
It's a sexual underworld though. That's where all this come from. Like that's the most. Sex ain't going nowhere. Like you got places all over the world that America is gonna be that new hot spot for sexual deviancy. That's why they trying to legalize all of these pedophilia. They trying to legalize too much deviant stuff.
Yeah,
they trying to make it normal where you want to come over here. It's normal to come over here and you can be with a child. It's normal you can come over here and do this and do that and get away with it.
Yeah,
until they don't want you to get away with it.
Cadero said this is triggering. He said, I'm mad. It's like it was my daughter. Like when you hear these stories, and if you're a parent and you know what goes into actually being a good parent, watching your children, feeding them, clothing them, making sure you even got to watch other kids around your children. You even have to watch your child around your child. Or you have things like R. Kelly talking about how his sister raped him when he was growing up. So when we have these, as a parent, you put yourself in these positions. It's like Is there ever a time I'm going to be okay with my daughter getting raped? Is there ever going to be a time I'm okay with somebody sending my daughter a video of them jacking off? And I'm saying I don't want people to feel like I'm a piss poor parent, so I don't say anything. Is that what we're doing now? This is sad. And like I said, we have a lot of parents that are cowardly and they feel as if, well, I don't say they cowardly. I think they use the method of, like I said, being naive and they didn't know to put their daughters or their children in these precarious situations to where they can be, touched on, fondled, raped, groomed to be, deviant people themselves. And like I said, this is scary. Ryan said there's got to be child labor safety laws. It's all on the parent. I agree. Why do y'all think so many people are still to this day trying to push their kids to be in these industries?
So they can gain off of
live that free life. Oh, go ahead, Chris.
Yeah, so they can gain off of them. They trying to live through their child.
Mm.
That's all that is.
I think it also falls underneath that like high risk, high reward type of things. Like they ready to risk it all. It's parents that say they didn't quit their jobs to support, their kids, driving them to auditions, sets, and all the other kind of stuff because they feel like the reward is worth it.
That's scary that you would risk. I think high risk, high reward is cool. I think that's something you should do, but I don't think you should do it at the cost of your children at all. And it's scary that so many people are doing that. And like I said, we could tell by society and how things go. It just even in our city today, we had a meme of kids saying they're gonna have this party at City Walk or meetup, and then we have it later on. This flyer gets put back out and said, "F the mayor, we're gonna beat his ass."
What?
That's insane.
You didn't see that?
No.
So there was a meme, a flyer that went out today, and they was having a meetup. And basically it started because a woman, from what I seen, a woman made a comment under Wolfen's post.
Oh, I did see that.
Okay, and then he was like, "Nah, I'm good." But everybody was like, for spring break, a lot of these places already have discounts, and some of these places are free because they know kids are out. And what's happening is a lot of these people, parents are dropping their children off down here. And if y'all remember last year, a year before last, they was meeting up at City Walk and they was having all out brawls, 30, 40 kids fighting down there, getting arrested. The mayor had to make curfews and all this shit. Y'all don't remember that?
I think I do a little bit, but I know they was brawling.
Yeah, they was like having a whole brawl. It was going viral and everything. And so this is the thing that is going on now. Like you have then after that, and the mayor saying something about it, he releases a different flyer. And it says at the bottom, basically, F Randall Wolfen will be his ass.
See, this is how I feel about the initial thing under the Instagram post, right?
Mm-hmm.
I can't remember what his Instagram post was about, but it looked like it was personal, like him and his wife or something non-politically based.
Mm-hmm.
And it is time and place for you to be voicing your concerns. So I feel like he had his little clapback was being smart.
Yeah.
Because it's like, girl, he's talking about his wife or whatever it is. Like, why are you trying to talk about his job right here?
Mm-hmm.
Like everybody, I don't want anybody coming on my Facebook post or Instagram talking about, oh, girl, I need you to do this at your job. Like, no. They got council meetings. They have other ways that you could contact him. He is a public figure, but this is his personal stuff on the side. When he logs on to Instagram, he ain't trying to see what the city really want if he's sharing pictures of his family and wife. So I kind of thought her comment was a little smart alecky.
It was.
And then I do always feel like the people that are very loud and boisterous in those ways be the ones that don't even vote. They be the ones that be complaining the most about, whatever is going on, and they don't even go out and vote.
Yeah, like I
what
said.
the comments say?
It was something like, why don't you
you talking about on here or
on his post?
I'm gonna go look for it to say exactly, give it to you exactly.
It was something along the lines of like, instead of whatever he was talking about, why don't you do some free stuff for the kids, like pay for them to be able to go here and
y'all make sure if y'all watching the video, y'all share the video. Y'all make sure y'all like the video. Make sure y'all follow the New Normal Podcast page. So the post says this girl. I'm gonna show it on Facebook.
Yeah, and see, Ryan, that's the problem right there. You say that they have no days off. And while I do understand that, but at some point in time, you do have a day off. I mean, he has a whole life, and I don't feel. I mean, what he can do is just block out on social media, which is what he do.
Yeah, you ain't got to respond.
I mean, like when he posts stuff about his wife and people share negative stuff, he just block out. So I would have blocked that lady instead of responding like that because it did go viral. But you have a day off, and it's people that had those that mindset that is why we have an issue today. Let people have a day off. Okay, that man posted about him. It's his time off, or posted about whatever. He wasn't posting that he was holding next city council meeting. Let that man do what he want to do.
So I'm finna share this. What it says right here. Hold on. Having no days off is unrealistic.
Absolutely.
Oh, you put it in the chat, Ryan. Good looking. I found the post, so I'm gonna put it right here. She wanted businesses to cut their prices so the kids could have had something to do. It's the post. It said instead of posting a mixtape, oh, let me make sure it's sharing. Oh, it is. So this is the post. It said instead of posting a mixtape after berating Beham families, maybe consider discounted or free access to local movie theaters, YMCA, McWayne to help the kids have fun in nurturing environments. And he posted, "Nah, I'm good."
Please, somebody call Donald Trump.
They was so mad at him for that.
Kadara said, "I would have posted if you broke. Just say that."
Right, like, and even if it was a mixtape, it still was a picture of him and his wife. Like, this is a comedic time. This is not time for you to be asked about what your kids.
But from what a lot of people coming under my post and said, a lot of those places are discounted around this time, so your kids can go. Somebody, the YMCA, they said what they said during this week. The YMCA is free. I didn't know that, but that's what people say. I don't know how true it is. So I'm saying I'm getting this from other people, you know.
She's just trying to get rid of her damn shirt.
I think
ship them off somewhere.
You know, we always make this statement. They using school as daycares. These parents don't know what the fuck to do with these children. You out a week, they probably running crazy. Why do you think it's okay to drop a 10, 11, 12, 13-year-old off at City Walk? Like, sex trafficking ain't at an all-time high right now. Sex trafficking is at an all-time high right now. And you think it's wise to just drop your child off at City Walk unsupervised?
And you know what they do? You're going to have to find your way back home. I'm going to take you down there. You got to find out how to
Oh,
get
I
back
have
home.
heard people say that. You got to find your way back home. Like, what? What kind of stuff is that? To tell your child they got to find a way. You basically abandoning your child. If you got to find your way back home, if I don't find my way back home, then what?
Right.
What I'm going to do?
They about to go kick it.
But you know what? These people, mama got a life too. So just like these kids got spring break, I feel like mama them trying to go down to the beach, or you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or do whatever too. So,
well, you know,
just don't need to have kids.
I agree that, and that's what it boiled down to, and that's why I say a lot of people need to be chipped up before they have kids, and they got to reach certain criteria. Definitely, a no response was necessary, but as a leader, I guess that's a typo, but as a leader of the community, he was just posting a mixtape and trying to have a chill vibe. He has people in the community really asking for important things.
Well, they should be asking. I think they should continue to ask for important things, but on an Instagram post, it's just, I don't know what you expected.
Mm-hmm. And so when we see stuff like this, the parents just willy-nilly and freely just drop their kids off, because you would think when you're watching something like A Quiet on Set, it's a select few of people. It's not that many parents that's dropping their kids off or letting these kids be around perverts, and then you start seeing, damn, it's 200 kids down here City Walk unsupervised. How is this even happening? 200. Then like my wife's a teacher. Then she got a 13-year-old girl telling her, 14-year-old girl telling her, I'm pregnant. But don't tell my grandmom that I'm pregnant. Well, how do you get pregnant? Being unsupervised down there at City Walk. An older boy being able to pick you up. Y'all already talk about how the young girls like to talk to older guys because they got cars. So when you drop your daughter off down there, who the first person gonna go pick them up? This is scary to say. This is so scary to have this conversation and it's so real and need to be had. But we have a lot of fucked up parents that's in our community, that's in the world in general, and people just don't care. And I know a lot of people have children by product of just having sex. People like to bust nuts, cool, we understand it. But at the end of the day, as a child, you have a childish mindset. When you become adult, you put away childish things. That's what they say in the Bible, and a lot of people just don't understand this. When you have children and you're looking after somebody, you can't be your child best friend. Got so tired of seeing last summer, mother and daughter fucking twerk TikTok.
Yes.
It's like,
So many of them. I'm talking about that's a whole mom and daughter dance off, mommy and daughter challenge on TikTok. Why is this 50-year-old lady and this 30-year-old girl and this 15-year-old girl, grandmama, mama and daughter having twerk offs?
And when they be going to the club, like, I don't know why.
That's weird.
Me and my mom, if somebody in the wrong place, if me and my mom at the club at the same time, somebody in the wrong place. Either I'm in an older crowd or she is way too young. You know, like, no, I don't want to see my mom in the club.
Right. What if you just walked in the club and the nigga had her pent up, just bent over, throwing that ass? You just acting a fool. I'm talking about she throwing that ass with 20 niggas around her. Hey, shake that ass. Hey, shake that ass, bitch. Hey,
my
shake that ass.
Response was,
hey, shake that ass, bitch. Hey, wah.
would be to leave immediately. But once I turned around, I had to go snatch my mama out that club.
Hey, Miss Joy said, no, say
it. My initial response, I would be so traumatized. I've never seen my mama bent over doing nothing like that. You know? So I would be like, oh my God, I was going to get my mama.
Just think about just think about what we see. Tyrell said daddy issues. I agree. Stop it. Oh my God. She said some parents have children and love when they have babies. When they grow up, parents become disinterested and want to pawn the child off on somebody else. That's true. And that's why we say most of these parents are using school as daycares. That's why they don't care about their child passing. Even like during COVID, I always think about this. They still had to make lunches at the schools because most kids, a lot of kids, I ain't gonna say most, but a lot of kids in Birmingham City were only going to school to eat. That is crazy. And I'm like I said, I come from a good household, and my parents were there. So some of the stuff that I hear, I'm like, this can't be a thing. And then, like I said, sitting around my wife and her teacher's friend, they say, yeah, you'll see a kid there for breakfast. You won't see them no more. They show up for lunch and you won't see them no more. How you come to school to eat breakfast and lunch, but you don't go to none of your classes? And then they say they email the parents all year long. Hey, your son ain't turned in this assignment. Hey, your son just failed this test. Hey, your son got an F in my class. The parents don't respond until 2 weeks before it's time to get a report card, or if they find out their child not going to graduate. And now you want to say, oh, I haven't communicated with you, or I haven't called you. And then you say, ma'am, did you check your emails?
Or the parents who be like, don't call me while I'm at work.
Or that too.
Because it's the ones that be like, don't call me while I'm at work. And the kids know it too. So the kids are cut up and everything because they know, oh, you call my mom at work, she gonna cut you out.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
And sometimes I think a lot of teachers, this is what I say, and people gotta realize this: when you see children acting a certain type of way, you can kind of tell the background that they come from. If they acting bad, they acting just wild, they don't have any self-control, they not mannerable, they seem like they just impulsive with a lot of things, especially with disrespect. I can kind of tell you what background you're gonna come from. So it ain't even a reason for me to go out there and say something to your mama. And I'm gonna be real with you. I say this all the time, but a lot of women will get mad when I say this. If most of your teachers in Birmingham City are gonna be black women, you're gonna be scared to call another black woman and tell her about her child, because y'all know how y'all act. Just for the most part, the parents that we're talking about, you know, as a black woman, this black woman crazy because you will be crazy. So you don't want that confrontation. You don't want that fight because you know that mama come down and fight you about her kid. And her kid been wrong all fucking year. But you don't want to say nothing to this parent because you know Her son crazy, her daughter crazy. You know she damn near crazy. So I ain't finna call and rock the boat and tell her that, hey, this you need to come get this little motherfucker. He crazy. I been kicking him out of class all year. And then when it comes to schools, you would think, and now I know the politics of school. Like I said, I'm starting to learn the politics of school. But you would think that these kids would get kicked out of school for all these disruptive behaviors, fighting, stealing, cussing out teachers, just doing skipping school, just doing all this outlandish stuff in school, but they don't kick the kids out. Why is that? Because when I grew up, we had alternative schools. When I grew up, I don't even think they do that no more. So you said what?
ISS.
Yeah, we had ISS. We had a lot of stuff, but they don't do that no more. But now I started to learn that you're not kicking the kids out because you get $5,000 a head for a kid that's in your school. So now you need the funding because you kick the kid out. Now you know you ain't gonna get that $5,000 for that child.
I think also too, like I do remember kids getting kicked out of school, but they had a lot more chances to get, it together. In the school I went to, people's parents, like even my mom, maybe my mom got called up to school maybe once or twice, and my mom has never acted up in front of me, but I had the fear that she was gonna get up here and do some shit I ain't never seen before. You know what I mean? So I'm like, all right, let me get myself together. But you always had like that in the back of your mind, your parent is gonna come up here and embarrass you or whatever. I never felt like my mom was gonna come up to the school and be disrespectful to my teachers.
See, and that's the difference. You like my dad used to say this. He said, I don't care how many of them guys you hang out with and what they do. Remember, you always got to come home to me. He used to always say, he said, you could think it's fun and cute and all that. They ain't got to go to home to no daddy. Ain't no daddy at their house, but you got a daddy when you come here. And that stuck with me. And it's like, yeah, I'm around all these guys and we acting up and stuff like that. But I'm listening to them talking. It's like, oh yeah, they talking about their mama. They ain't never talking about their daddy. I'm sitting here talking about my daddy. Like my daddy bought me and my brother brand new go-karts in middle school. And I'm telling the guys in class, hey, yeah, my dad bought me brand new go-karts. Y'all both got go-karts? Yeah. Typically when people get a go-kart, they only get one and it's the 2-seater and they got to share. But you and your brother got a go-kart? Y'all own go-kart? And I'm like, yeah. And now everybody hating me because now I'm telling them I got a new go-kart. Like, what? Y'all mad about this?
Yeah.
Go. What you guys say?
School gonna start a lot of trends. You gotta look at our culture. Like when I thought about it, how young I was when I started like kicking it, like party types and like skating rink. We getting dropped off 11, 12. We seeing all these kids. It's a finite amount of time. It's adults there, but it's too many kids for the adults to really be able to corral. And we just see these fights like right down the street, Valley Skating Rink.
Yeah.
So I'm like, there's a lot of kids. And so we leave here at 10 because it's from what it was, 6 to 10?
Valley.
6 to 10. Then we leave there and go to Wildwood. They used to have a movie theater on Lakeshore. It's kids out there to about 12. The same kids from this skating rink going to, so it's this congregation. So this congregation thing, now you partying. I went to my first house party at 12. Like, what we get, what make a 12-year-old, when you think about the age 12, what make me want to party? I'm seeing my mom and them do it. Like, I'm in there, get out of here. They drinking and all that, but you in the midst because they having the house parties while y'all there walking around. So you start getting into this, well, now it's lifestyle. So you got parents and all this, the kid that's following along with the agenda of their kid. The kid don't want to be the outcast at school.
Right.
Or you ain't got you ain't do, everybody down their hair blue. You ain't down your hair blue. So she getting into it with the mama because she want to be like her friends that's gonna judge me, that's gonna critique them. Or you got them shoes, or you can't hang with us.
Right.
Or you doing that, you can't hang with us. So the parent got this pressure to make their kid a part of the fools. Or now, all right, she finna run away. These kids, they going way outside the dorm. You'll get mad at your parents, storm off. You'll get a whip and slam the door. These kids running away. Like how many false missing kids report we saw in the last few years? A lot. Where they just run off to another state, 14, 15, 16.
Because the crazy part, they running off with old men.
Yeah.
That's crazy. It don't really be boys that run away. It be the girls. And then when you see them in another state or they catch up with them 5 years later, she's like, yeah, I ran away with this older nigga. He 12, 14, 15 years older. And I'm like, what the fuck? Like, it's scary. Like I said, that people have so much access or be able to have this type of access to your children at any time. Like having the internet and your child having a phone, anybody can have access and influence your child in any way. And then when you think about school, Y'all make sure y'all share the video. We having a good conversation. Y'all make sure y'all share the video, like the video, and make sure y'all follow the page. But I was just thinking about like at school. Typically, school is where you're gonna pick up the worst behaviors you ever could think of. Like the worst shit. Like you could teach your child something, and they'll do something. And the first thing you think of, where did you learn this? First thing you think is, where did you get this from? Because you don't do this at home. We don't teach you this. You never thought of this. You never said this. You're not around nobody that does this. So you got to be picking it up at school. So when you got to think about these classrooms full of 30 kids, 30 upbringings, 30 different types of households, generational curses. Mama could be an alky. If you do got a daddy, he could be a crackhead. I ain't know that's still a thing, but we still got crackheads rocking around this bitch to this day. I'm talking about strong.
That's forever gonna be a thing. As long as you got an east side.
And you know what's even crazier? I was watching something and I did my research, but they was talking about Glorilla, right? And how Glorilla is being propped up to be some type of political figure now, even though I don't think she understands what they're trying to do, because that's why she said at the end of the day that they go in. But I don't think she understands what's going on. But somebody said Glorilla has the look of a person who has fetal alcohol syndrome.
Facts. I saw that.
I said, what? I looked it up, and if you notice, like, they face being flat, the eyes being on the side of the head, I'm like, oh my God. Then you start realizing, hey, this person is a sibling of, hey, mama got 10 kids. You can't, if you're a single mother with 10 kids, that's crazy.
That's insane.
You know, they did the same thing with Cardi B. They go after the women because they got the women. They know the women got an audience.
Yeah.
So if I can get you to sway an opinion, you're gonna sway my audience. I got 500,000 subscribers, so 100,000 gonna see this.
Yeah.
Oh, I got 5 million. Oh, 300,000 gonna see this. So they using these people. They don't know they pawns a part of a game.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all don't know the first thing about fucking politics,
right?
So why are we having these conversations about politics when you're just an entertainer? You remember Glorilla first came out? She did something with the mayor of Atlanta, like the very first year that single dropped. Like, how does she get into, like, where does the political realm play a part?
Right. Or schools.
They in the house. Exactly. Then you start seeing Sexy Red going to the schools.
Right.
Start seeing
Blueface and Krishan.
Start seeing these Krishan. Yeah. So that's not just something that they just, you listen to the lyric, like you want that coming to a school. It's 14-year-old kids here because it's a high school.
Yeah.
It's 9th through 12th.
Yeah.
You really want them hearing this? Parents ain't contesting it. They not protesting against, I don't want my child exposed to this type of music or energy or whatever the case may be. Because they can't say that, because once you sign over to public school, you done.
I don't know if that's it too. I also think, what is it the kids hearing Glorilla or Sexy Red at school when they hear it in the car and they hear it at home?
Well, you got different parents that say it's parental discretion advised, meaning my parent can say, my child don't listen to that. So right. Once I send them to school,
everybody gonna listen to it.
Your child gonna listen to it today.
Right. But I'm just saying, like, the majority of the people, like, my school ain't had nowhere near a Sexy Red. I don't even know if we've ever had any entertainers at our school, if they would even be considered R&B.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Because that was just the tone of our school. But if the tone of our school, we be listening to all of these kind of artists, I can see it just being a rollout. Like, y'all know, I haven't watched a lot of black movies, you know, growing up. My parents had strict parental guidelines. I grew up watching Disney Channel, not Players Club. You know what I mean? I grew up listening to Kids Bop and not Tupac.
How would your mother feel if they let Boys in the Hood come to your gymnasium and reenact Ricky getting shot in the back?
Yeah.
And it was horrific.
If it was something,
your parent would probably be, hey, I did all this work to make sure my child doesn't internalize this or doesn't get that in their psyche. So why would you do this on a mass scale?
Yeah, if it was publicized like that, my mama would withhold me from school that day.
And see, the thing is, I don't think they do this anymore. Permission slips. If you know Sexy Red come to school, everybody should sign permission slips to the kids that get their permission slip signed. Those are the parents that they condone it and say, hey, they listen to it at home. But I just think about my kids. My children don't listen. We don't listen to no rap music.
Yeah.
Like none. And the only rap music the only time they really listen to rap music typically is like when we around the house chilling on the weekend. But most of the time, like when we in my truck, we listen to no music. My kids get in the car. Hey baby, how you was doing? What did you do today? What did you learn today? Who did you play with? What did they tell you? What did they teach? Like I'm always asking my children questions because I'm trying to always make sure I can hedge any dumb shit that they're going to get before they think that's normal. You know what I'm saying?
I think my first time seeing BET was like BET After Dark or something like that. And they was twerking on Cadillacs. I didn't know what I was watching. You know what I mean?
Did you see Uncut? That was
yeah, that's what it was. Yeah, Uncut. They
Yeah,
was dancing on Cadillacs. Oh my God. I grew up listening to Britney Spears, NSYNC, Backstreet Boys, a little bit of Destiny's Child. I thought it was like maybe 4 or 5 people that made music in the world because everywhere I went, even with friends, like my friends' parents was playing the same music in the car. Everywhere I went, it was these same artists.
Yeah.
And so then when I seen the BET After Dark, I'm like, Lord have mercy, this girl is twerking on on a Cadillac car. They dancing
So
to
you
car
didn't see
wash.
the credit card swipe, did you?
I don't even think I never saw that, but
Oh.
I'm just saying I just remember an array of images that was just like, what is this?
Right.
I just didn't grow up with that. But I think by the time I was able to receive that information, I already had the morals my parents want to instill in me. So I didn't feel like after looking at that girl dancing on that car that I need to be 12 years old trying to pop it on somebody in Impala at school or something. You know what I mean? Like, but you got these kids who grew up listening to that and they are that, or they grew up watching that. So they are engulfed in that. So I can see if the parents like, shit, it's cool for you to watch it at the house. It's cool for you to listen to it in the car. Go ahead and dance to it at school.
Right. Hey, if you over there on Twitter, if you want to come over there over to YouTube or Facebook, the New Normal Podcast, if y'all want to comment, y'all just come over there on the on YouTube. I'm gonna read this comment from Miss Jordan. It said, I think teachers care on the level that the parents care about the children. Parents that are visible and approachable get the best response from teachers, and the children tend to do better. The partnership creates a good path for the child. Terrell says, school going to always be the biggest influence. No way around it unless you homeschool. I agree. And then they say when you get a homeschool children, they weird, but it's just because they're not indoctrinated in,
I don't know. I feel like it depends on the household. So that stuff at school was not flying in my house.
You got to get it. That social development, like you got to look at sports, school. Like I did all the football and basketball early. Me and Juwan, it's 5 of us on the weekend. So that's 5 different boys. We always interacting. So that's going to work on the social development. Then we going to the movies. We going these different places. It's girls our age. So we started this interaction process early. If you homeschooling, you don't sacrifice. It's a trade-off. They not going to get that social development being homeschooled that you'll get in that public education because you still got to be able to defend yourself. Think about a person that didn't avoid all conflict. They finally meet conflict. They not going to handle it well.
They ain't gonna know what to do with it, right?
They gonna crash out more likely.
Yeah,
because they conflict resolution ain't gonna be a thing to them. You got to be able to hold your own, like
like we say, I learn how to get a nigga up off you.
Yeah,
and sometimes it ain't necessarily being like if somebody Jones on, you gotta be able to get them up off you. Yeah. Somebody that ain't used to that, they might just jump out the one that want to fight the nigga. You know what I'm saying? And you trying to fight somebody and you ain't know you've been in the fight before.
And we seen this, and it went super left.
Right.
Like, it's just a trade-off on what you want to get out of it. I'd rather have that, okay, we're going to get you the social awkward, but I want you to avoid certain pitfalls that's going to definitely set you back.
Yeah. Let's see what this comment say. I saw that on Glorilla. They using her as a pawn. I never heard or seen her or know her music, and I can tell this. They using her as a pawn.
That's facts, though.
Tyrell said, yeah, Glow. A political pawn. Am I saying it's K? Am I saying that right? I hope I'm saying it right. Kai. Okay. Kai. I listened to Tupac and my mom loved Little Kim, but in 2nd grade, she made me watch Roots. She taught us how to pray. We had rules, structure. Being Black means we have a duty to be exposed to our heritage, even a culture that may not exist in our everyday world. If parents don't do their part, neither will the kids.
That's a fact, though.
Shout out to my guy Barack Obama, aka Barack O'Drama.
All they gotta do is put a person in your face and say, "Hey, this the person you need to like, pray, like him, do this, whatever." And you see him so much now we like him.
Right.
We don't know nothing about him.
That should be the red flag when anybody puts something in your face and tell you that's who you should like.
Yeah.
That's the person you probably should be more fearful of. Yeah. When they start telling you that, hey, this person's gonna change your life, it's gonna be some shit in the game. They finna fuck you up. They finna fuck you up bad.
How many musical artists can you say that we propped up, like we saw them starting out and said we campaigning for this person versus, man, that who is down the radio sound good. Mm-hmm. And you keep hearing it. Oh yeah, that's the person we like. We like him. Mm-hmm. We ain't prop him up to get where we just heard it and like, okay,
came across.
Yeah, and you find out that he didn't write that. Somebody else wrote the record.
Right.
Damn, that he auto-tuned. That ain't even his real voice. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
So they manufacture these feelings and experience. It's a Sahada Prince. He got a song where it was a guy speaking. I forgot the guy's name. He was talking about how they manufacture experiences and they use them against us, like fine dining. Hey, candlelight, this type of plateware, making the food small portion. Hey, this is a $300 date. This is a $400 dinner, but it's the experience. But it ain't real. It's just it's the same food you would go and get anywhere else, but they don't plate it right a certain way, present it a certain way. We're gonna make you pay top dollar for it.
Presentation is everything.
Yep, but it's for the experience, and you just that's what you get addicted to. It's crazy, man. Like nothing is what it seems.
Yeah,
which is how we lose these kids to the Nickelodeons and the Weinsteins and all the other guys, Epstein's.
Do you think when you hear about stuff that happens to these children, does that kind of taint your childhood or feel like it taints what you thought was part of your childhood to be good, to be holy, to be great, to be like, oh, I want to be like this person when I grow up? Or just think about like you think of Britney Spears. So many young ladies want to be Britney Spears, and then you find out what Britney Spears went through. And then he's like, oh, I idolized her. So you mean to tell me I got to go through this family issue, mental breakdowns, hair falling out, me looking crazy to be Britney Spears? That's the hurdles that I got to jump through to be Britney Spears. That would be crazy. That would be a mind fuck to think that. Yeah, I don't think so.
I mean, that's a mental scramble either way. Like, or what she went through, that shit just like unexplainable.
Yeah.
Like, they really did. Her dad did her dirty. Like, and if a female want to go through what she went through, like, more power to you. That's insane.
I don't think I've actually idolized someone in a way where I want to be like them.
You had two parents?
I do have two parents.
Okay.
Yeah, and like I always imagine, like, for example, Britney Spears is a part of the world, but like not my world. Just like I watch Victoria's Secret shows every year. I used to be like at the TV watching them. I never imagined being on the stage. So, it's just like this is something that you watch on TV. It's not a part of real life.
Kai said, but wow, those idols. Y'all remember Too Short said in the song, 2 Chainz said in the song, Too Short was my father figure. A lot of these guys ain't got no fathers. So they getting father figures from TV, from entertainers, from actors, from the neighborhood dope dealers, the niggas that's in the neighborhood, or the men that they are close to that seem like they got it going on. They don't have fathers that's telling them the real or what's going on. So like I said, when you hear a rapper say, like 2 Chainz said, Too Short was his father figure, that what goes on. Or even like social programmer, like Role Models. Y'all remember that movie Role Models? Y'all ever seen it? So basically Role Models is a movie about these guys, and they pretty much got to do community service. So they take on these 2 children, right? It's 2 children. And pretty much they got one of the guys got the little black boy. It's the social programmer at a house party. He's cussing out everybody. They're supposed to be a comedy, but then they telling us in our mind that this is how little black kids are supposed to act. This is what they do. The white kid over there, he just want to do cosplay. But the little black kid, he want to be at the parties. He want to see some titties. He want to drink beer, all of this shit. But the white kid, he just want to go and sword fight. The little black kid got to be gangster, got to be hard, got to be on the scene.
Sword fighters.
That's what I'm saying. He want to sword fight and cosplay. Real kid shit. But the other guy, the black kid, he talking about, hey, I want to see some titties. What? The fuck? And he was raised by a single mother in that movie. He never sees his father. All of this, like they saying this and they telling us and they programming us to think this is the black experience.
Do you think that's why a lot of folks be gay? Because they have no father figure?
Do I think that's why a lot of people be gay?
Yeah.
I do. I do.
Do y'all agree with that? No. Why you don't agree with that?
I have some friends that are gay, and most of them, I would say probably a good 80 to 90% are gay because of a sexual experience that they've had as a child. But some of them have had fathers.
Do you know? But do you know how a lot of those, they say because women allow certain people to get close to them being a single mother? Because if you do your research on that too, most of those sexual assaults come from single mother homes.
All of the gay guy friends that I have are from 2-parent homes that have been married.
Mm-hmm.
I can't speak to the single parent thing. I don't really know a lot of people in my inner circle that are that do come from single parent households, but I do feel like you can have a father, but I do think not all gay people, but at least the ones that I know, the catalyst was the sexual trauma that they experienced that curated their appetite for whatever they have appetite for.
Or you could be like Magic Johnson and his wife. His wife was grooming his son to be gay. She said when Magic Johnson go on the road, he let him dress up in heels, dresses, and do a whole bunch of feminine stuff. But tell him when his daddy come home, he got to act like a boy.
I'm saying
that, and those are the experiences that I hear a lot of men, or like a men or men that are straight, and you hear them in they have certain mannerisms, or they have certain tones in their voice, or they have certain ways that they carry themselves. You be like, oh, he's definitely gay. And then you start talking to him and be like, hey, I was raised around nothing but women. My mama, her aunties, her homegirls. I'm at the salon. I ain't doing nothing with me. Everything I'm doing is around women. So I'm not necessarily gay, but I would come off as a gay male because I act this way, because my whole experience and who I learned to be a man from was from women.
You want to know something crazy? I think we may have talked about this. It's controversial, but I can almost tell a man who'd have been raised in a single mother home.
Mm-hmm.
You could just tell by the responses, by their certain dispositions,
values
and shit. You could tell that they've been, because the single mother, she has to have some type of support. So like you said, they allow people to get close to them, the yard man. Oh, this Mr. Brown across the street, down the street. Mr. Brown, see, ain't no man in the house.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Most time, men gonna give a woman space. You're not gonna be all up on her. Like, I'll help you here and there, but I'm trying to press you and make sure I'm present. I'm looking for something in return. I'm not just doing this. That's why I don't, those nice guys, when chicks are here, nice guy, no, he not. Ain't no such thing as a nice guy. He's opportunist. He waiting on the opportunity.
Yeah. And that go back to like Penn State. When you hear about Sandusky, when you hear about crazy. That, and him being around these kids, and they come from the backgrounds they come from, most of them single mother households, they in these programs, and he's there to help, not knowing that this man is literally here to feed on these people, because they know that you don't have no man coming behind you to beat my ass behind this child.
Thanks.
So this is the things that we have to address, especially in our community, that we can't be doing a whole bunch of degenerate shit, especially this baby mama and baby daddy shit, and then be wondering why our kids come out the way they do. I don't see what we got. Look at Finesse 2 Times, son. He a perfect example.
Oh, you talking about King?
King, yeah.
Exactly.
He's a perfect example.
You should have had a video of that.
What's going on with him?
He's what, he 9?
Yeah, he cussing.
He's rapping,
gambling, and
he's rapping as if he's Pooh Shiesty. He talking about sex, shooting, drug. He talking about men things. At 9 years old, and he got a crowd of adults behind him pushing it because it's making money to a certain degree. But
we got to get to the point where making money cannot be the barometer to where we just let shit just go. It just can't be because we making money. This is okay. It can't be because King is making money. It's okay for a 9-year-old to act like this. Like when are we gonna have some type of integrity to say, hey, this shit can't fly right here?
Unfortunately, in situations like that, the integrity is gonna come from the people consuming it. Because he's 9. Should he be rapping like that? No, but look at how his daddy rapping and how close in proximity he is. He's on the stage with racks of money, spreading it.
But also, that's not really his daddy. And it's weird that you take on, like, if a dude was taking on a kid like that, you would think that he would try to be showing him a better way. And I listened to Finesse 2 times talk about his reasoning for allowing King to do this type of stuff. And I'm like, bro, you supposed to be showing this dude another way. You got him doing this.
So another way. His reason?
He just said, I guess he was just like a kid in the hood, and mama was like on drugs, and he was just always around. I'm like, how do a kid just always be around grown ass men?
Have you listen to Finesse
music
stories about growing up and stuff?
I
don't think it's any different than what he's doing. The little boy.
Yeah, he come from that, so he can't teach him no better. That's where he come from. He got him in a lifestyle like that's what's gonna be.
Yeah,
he the forever dope boy. He the forever. That's what it's gonna be with him. So what he tried to do is say at least he's safe. Because if he was in Memphis, he'll probably get into some street shit, end up dead or in jail. So they trying to make it seem like the lesser of two evils.
Yeah,
which I get, but the parents putting the kid in such an environment to where a rapper has to intervene. He don't have no uncles. He don't have no other cousins. He don't have nobody that's strong enough to come in. Hey, let me take this boy and put him in a position of prosperity. Not that speaks to the family. Like that's what's coming out. Like, and I get it, but to see it is very awkward. It lets you know what state we in. Like,
yeah, and I agree to a certain extent about the people that's consuming it, and then also like if it wasn't a market or if it wasn't consumable, I guess it wouldn't go as viral or as big as it does. So that also lets you know, well, we could say, well, you shouldn't put Cardi B in front of our faces, but how many people say, well, I'm just gonna turn it off? Because that goes back to my argument about social media. When people be like, folks be bullying me on social media. You mean the phone that you could turn the fuck off?
That's facts.
Like you could literally turn the phone off and you don't have to see this shit. Or the person that's bullying you can block them. Like, you mean to tell me you're bullied by something you can literally turn off? It's different if you was in school where you have to go to school, but the internet, because of difference of opinion.
Cyberbullying.
Yeah, that's crazy, the craziest shit ever. Unless it's some stalker shit.
Yeah,
that's but most people ain't, and most people on the internet ain't that advanced to be cyber stalking you.
But I can say
this song.
When you go through your viral moment or whatever, them people loud said they can ruin your day. You know, I called you one time, they ruined my day. You know, it is a real thing. I can understand like going through it initially. Now, will I be in that same space again? No. You know what I mean? It was like something that helped me develop tough skin. But the first time, it's hard to experience that when it's like so many people. We ain't talking about, oh, you talking about cyberbullying, not to minimize anybody, but you know, you got 20 people commenting. You got one bad comment, you can't delete that. But when it's thousands consistently on multiple platforms, it does seem overwhelming.
I think we got bizarre appetites. You got a lot of people wake up to get on the internet to see what's the craziest shit I can see today and share it and send it. Man, look at this. Nah, look at this. So you get into a sending what's the worst shit you can send and see today. So you gotta look at the from the Miss Charles and Miss Netta, this little boy King, the Diddy, all of this. They not really focused on the crimes. They looking at P. Diddy to make a joke out of it. You see what I'm saying? Like we got to a place to where we desensitized to the human experience. You know how many kids I see that just end up dead by just negligence. Like I seen them stories. This child died. The mama went to
Mexico for like 3 days or something.
Left the kid there. No, like these kids are just that carelessness. Like, it's no value for life. It's no like.
Or like that story you sent me. The dad had walked in the house and he was crying, and he had to get his 2 daughters because the daughter called him because she was hungry, and said the mama had been gone for like 2
Oh
weeks.
yeah. Facts. Yeah, that's crazy.
And I'm like 2 weeks.
2 weeks, man.
2
Yo,
weeks.
2 weeks. They done
during
found 3
COVID,
kids.
I mean, during not COVID, but during Classic, I was outside, doing my thing. This lady had her 3 kids in the car at nighttime, sitting in the car, and it was like, her sister had asked me to go get something out the passenger side of the car, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm like, is this a car? And she was like, yeah. I'll open up the door, and it's 3 kids in the back seat. It's like midnight, and they just. And I'm just in the car, and the lady was like, the lady who owned the car, she was like, oh, what's up? I was like, your sister asked me to grab whatever out the car. And she was like, oh, okay, because my kids in there, and I ain't want nobody to go in there and disturb my kids. Go home.
It's crazy that you got to be on the scene that hard
That's insane.
to have your kids. But that take me back to when I was going to the Platinum.
And
one
mind you,
time.
we was not to cut y'all, but we was drinking, and people was out there smoking, and I mean, it was just commotion.
Kicking it.
And the door was unlocked. And sometimes we were inside a building. So somebody could have went into that car and we wouldn't even know.
Yeah.
And she was messed up. Anyways.
Oh, she was drunk too?
Yes.
Tyrell said they said on Classic kids get in the club for free.
This is the thing, we was on 3rd and we wasn't even at the club.
That's crazy, bro.
But yeah, that remind me of when I was at the Plat one time, and as I was going in, as I walked by, it's a lady standing outside the car, and there's 2 kids in the car. A lady comes out and they talking, and these ladies are taking turns watching the kids going in and out the Platinum, watching kids in the back seat. I'm in the club. It's about 2:00 in the morning at this point. Both these women are in the club. I leave out. I walk by the 2 kids. They sleep in the back seat now, and I walk by. And I'm like, damn, these people are really out here with their kids in the back seat, and they in the club. And you don't know nobody could kidnap your kids, especially this time when I was going to the Plat. They were breaking in cars like a fool at this point. And I'm like, y'all think this is cool? Y'all really like to be in the club? You got your kids out here like this. This is scary. That I can say I say it, but I don't know if people really understand where we are in America. This ain't just a black thing. Where we are in America when it comes to how we are rearing children now. It's over with pretty much. I don't think we're gonna ever come back. I think it's gonna be a level of separation that's gonna have to happen. It's gonna like in our community, it's gonna have to be you got black folks and you got nigga shit. You just got to separate yourself from a whole bunch of bullshit that is going on, because like I said, you don't want certain people to influence you or your child and bring that into your household.
I think we at the end of an era. You look at this P. Diddy situation, all these things AI coming in, these immigrants coming in. It's gonna be a whole new world in about 5 years. Yeah, we're not gonna be operating the way we operate today. Currency gonna be paper money. That's gonna be a thing of the past. Travel gonna be different. It's gonna be. We're coming into a whole new world. I don't think people are prepared for that.
I don't think people are woke on a lot of stuff. And the reason I say that is when I see fully autonomous McDonald's in Texas, a fully autonomous McDonald's in Texas, and I think this was 3 years ago. When you get to the point where they said they got fully autonomous Amazon warehouses now.
Oh, I got one for you. Hold up.
This shit is crazy. Like, do you know like what's going? They said 30% of the job force will be cut by 2030.
I believe it.
That's 6 years from now.
I think this
6 years is a blink of a fucking eye.
And this UPS CEO just announced you for to shut down 200 hubs.
What?
200? Shit, that's a lot.
And make them automated.
A hub house what, about 1,000?
Depending on the location.
500, something like that.
It's probably about 1,000. It's probably about 1,000. I would say from 500 to 1,000.
In California, it's thousands.
Yeah.
But you know what I'm saying? Somewhere small, it might be number like 50, 60, 70.
So what y'all think if parents ain't able to already can't afford it? Now, when the job market is shrunk, what's gonna happen now?
You're gonna have to adapt to the new needs of the new society because people gonna change. They're gonna change how they consume. They're gonna change how they travel. They're gonna change how they do a lot of shit.
But people ain't gonna hire people.
I know. I said people gonna have to adapt. That means new industries are gonna have to be made.
I don't think you're gonna have a lot of new industries that's gonna come up.
For those,
I'm gonna say that I don't think you have a lot of new industries that's gonna come up to where they're going to be able to employ people.
now it's gonna not be a lot, but it's gonna be some. They're gonna have to because you're gonna have to offset the person who can't get electric or who, you see what I'm saying?
Yeah. Ryan said, that's exactly what my mentor told me. There are two types of black people in the world right now: black people and niggas.
Yeah, my dad told me that a long time ago.
And like I said, it's getting to the point where, like I said, you're gonna have to separate yourself. And they shame black people for wanting better and for doing better. And I still remember when they was talking about Ice Cube. And Ice Cube used to make fun of people for moving out the hood, and he tried to get his money and move in the hood. And now the same people you saying you trying to be around breaking into your shit. Why would you think in your mind they're not gonna look at you as different, or they're not gonna look at you as some food if you got all this stuff around here and we don't have it? Of course we're coming into your shit.
Yeah.
You're asking for it.
Not
You
if,
asking for
but
it.
when.
Yeah. You asking for it. And that's what I'm saying. We have this allegiance to nigga shit.
Yeah.
I don't understand it. I don't know why we want to do this shit. I don't understand why degeneracy is considered our culture. Like even when we talk about like racism, okay, granted, I do believe racism is a thing. But is it that prevalent? Like I tell people this, I haven't had a racist experience in my life because pretty much my whole existence have been around black people. Until I got to high school, then I went to a mixed school, and even then I hung around nothing but black people. And I was like, if racism was so prevalent, all niggas got to do is wear body cams. You ain't got to be Jesse Smollett and fake a whole some racist shit that happened to you with MAGA hats and shit. If racism just happens, you walk out the door and racism just slaps you in your face, you wear a body cam.
I think racism is different. It's levels to racism.
So, and I agree. And I'm not saying that racism doesn't exist. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying in our community, we have to use certain things as crutches to be part of the black experience. And racism is one of them. And that's why a lot of people say they don't achieve certain things because they're a black man in America. They're a black woman in America. These are the circumstances that was given to me. Some people already have a defeated mindset when they walk out the door, when they wake up in the morning before their feet even hit the ground. And that's part of the black experience.
I think that's rooted in racism, though, when you think about the resources, like indirect. You got redlining. You got to where I ask you, did you wake up next to a Cold Stone or to a Whole Foods where you can get you some healthy food that's not going to fuck up your brain, hit you with all sugars? Can you wake up and go like that, like some people in Mountain Brook can go? You'll say, is it privilege or is it racism? So why don't I have a black Mountain Brook somewhere?
Well, a lot of that is when black people wanted to integrate, because when you think about how black people
didn't want to integrate, that was forced.
There
wasn't no desire.
We had a lot of people marching. We still had people. We
had our own shit in 1921. Black Wall Street, independent, black everything. But civil rights came in 60s, 50s.
But when you think about that, even coming down to the 60s, you said black people wanted to march. They wanted to go sit in, like, even when you think about the baseball league, you had the Negro League, and then when integration happened, what all the niggas do? They went to go play well in the white leagues. You didn't have to go do that. And even if because integration, you did not have to go do that. You had black people that own bus lines. You had black people that own hotel chains. You have black people that owned a lot of shit. And so much so that even when you think about going back to like Civil War, that black men that cornered the market so bad. That's why they started making unions, because all of the skilled labor black men had, and most of the white men didn't know how to work.
Yeah, they was just managing it.
Right. So that's why we had unions formed, because a lot of the black men had cornered the market and knew what to do, knew how to do these jobs and stuff like that. And they had ways to feed their family. Like I said, when we're talking about America, a lot of people are like, it was racist. It's like, no, when you think about a lot of stuff that happened, most of these skilled positions, black people had a hold on it. But the thing is, a lot of us, like they said, if you don't want a nigga to know, you put it in the book. And that I think right now, while Birmingham, my wife told me, they said in Birmingham City, the reading level is on a 5th grade level in high school students. 5th grade level. That shit is fucking insane.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Do you know they say they build prisons off 3rd grade reading levels who can only read on 3rd grade reading levels? Shit is crazy. Now I researched it. They claim that it's not true. But then when you hear people like Rick Ross, the real Rick Ross, go to prison and say, yeah, most niggas can't read on the 3rd grade level.
They gotta have somebody else read their mail.
Right. So then it's like if you got something, y'all trying to debunk and say y'all don't build prisons off this. And I know it's not a thing because y'all intentionally make sure that black men.
That's racism.
Yeah,
that's practicing racism.
Is it if I could teach my child how to read at home, there ain't no excuse. That's a household thing. Do you know I have my children sit and write their letters and we go over math problems together? Do you know me and my son is wrestling? I said, okay, we can't wrestle anymore. What's 2 + 2? What's 5 + 5? What's 10 + 10? If you don't answer these questions no more, I don't want to play with you no more. And my son will answer the questions. Because a lot of this stuff we talking about starts at home. It don't go because you go outside. Because as black people now, you can't say, oh, that's forced racism that they don't want you to read. Well, nigga, they ain't been wanting us to read since we've been in America. But now we got all this information. What you gonna do with it? See, that's the point that I get upset about black people. We always say, well, it's racism. We know racism is here. What we gonna do with the information now? What you gonna do with the information? Like, you know it's here. How are you going to fucking maneuver with the information you got? Because I'd be damned as a black man to sit here and say, and have my lineage and go on and say that they can't motherfucking read. And I was a part of that. No, my sons, hey, you gonna learn how to read. People always talk about how advanced my son's vocabulary is at 5 years old. Like, you're going to know how to do this. And I'm not going to let racism be the reason you walk out my house, because that's not a reflection of what your school system. A lot of time, that's a reflection of where you come from. You got something to say?
And the lack of reading translates to how people formulate sentences.
Mm-hmm.
I be on Clubhouse all the time.
Oh Lord, here she goes.
That's the hood.
The app is only like audio.
Yeah.
You can type in the comments, but any other interactions that you have are verbal.
Yeah.
I can tell the people that I'm listening to have not read
probably
since they were in school because of how they formulate sentences.
Mm.
And like, we do make mistakes. We're all human. But the level and the degree of which they are misusing words.
Oh, you know what I hate? Some nigga shit. Some real nigga shit.
What's some real nigga shit said?
Is when niggas learn a fucking word and drive that bitch in the fucking ground. The word I hated, narcissist is one. I fucking hated when niggas was saying, but I digress. They would say some slit smart ass shit, but I digress. Shut the fuck up. The fuck? Like, come on, man. Y'all hear some shit and y'all driving into the emotional intelligence. What the fuck is that? Where do y'all get this shit from?
Yeah, and can't define it.
Right.
Can't use it in any other way except for misogyny. Yeah. Can't use it in any other way but that phrase.
Right.
You know what I mean? And it is painful to listen.
And see, when you learn, and then a motherfucker just learned the word, they ain't learned the actual definition of how to implement it in their speech, because they'll use it where it don't fucking go.
And I hate when they try to make a parallel to that's how black people talk.
Oh, I hate that
because
too.
Ebonics and being illiterate are two different things.
What the fuck?
You know what I mean? Ebonics and misusing a word are two different things.
Right.
Ebonics is our slang, or maybe the way that we say things. It is not improper English though.
Right.
Like mines.
Yeah, they'll say something like, I ain't finna do that. That is not Ebonics. That's bad grammar. Bad grammar and Ebonics, they are not.
Your mama said, please correct want and won't. They're not interchangeable.
Yeah, want, Oh, I want you so bad.
Oh yeah. I used to see that a lot. Yeah. I want you.
That used to be killing.
What?
That used to be beating niggas'
What
ass.
you ain't gonna
That
do?
won't.
I want you.
Sell and sell.
Oh yeah, that shit used to kill niggas' ass too. Yeah.
Having to say
Something
it.
is for sale. They're having a sale.
Right.
Two different things. There, and there. You know.
Yeah. All of that.
It is.
But like I said, we just have a lot of stuff we just got to correct, and it started. I don't think it started with a lot, but it just had to have a start.
It's the foundation, bro. It's always in the foundation.
Man,
Yeah.
that shit gonna start. It gotta start at the crib.
It's fine.
Yeah.
If you got kids that they're damned from the gate, it's projects, whatever. Dad ain't nowhere to be found. It's already. It's no resources. This person don't have no. It's already damned.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? Versus being aware of what's going on, so you can easily, protect your sons or protect your kids when you're aware. If you look at the percentage of people, men in prison that come from fatherless home, and you look at that percentage of the reading level, it's gonna probably be similar.
Mm-hmm.
It's the same shit. So again, this is all manufactured. That's why I say that's racism. I know how to manufacture an idiot the same way I know how to make a nigga. I know how to make a nigga that don't want number J's, smoke the black and mild. That's how each of them that run the Exxon and the Mexicans on the side, they know we like banana cream backwoods. How they know that? How they know to put banana cream backwoods in this gas station?
But is that racism or is that me being a salesman? Because if you come in and ask for something,
racism is like it's a building. It's a bunch of shit in this building. It's carpet, ceilings. Racism is just it's so many things up in there. So the racism and them knowing that, how would they know it? By studying. A lot of these people that come on, you like that, well, they just can't out of nowhere. They own the gas station. They the only ones in there working. They know we love rubbers, the little blacks, wood tip, all the variety of backwoods. How they know this? How they know we gonna like this? Rap music. Key Glock say get the Russian cream. Every time I go to the gas station, anytime I've not been to a gas station yet, and there was a woman in front of me under the age of 30 that did not buy Swishers or backwoods. I can't make this shit up.
Yeah.
Any woman I seen in their 20s that's in front of me in this line, getting backwoods or a certain Swisher I heard in a motherfucking rap song. I kid you not. So all this is in tandem. The rap music, that shit is a part of that shit ain't just make it look like this. Look how TV changed. The Cosby Show, Family Matters. What we got now, Empire. They know this. They know they're gonna psychologically condition us to think this is okay.
Yeah.
And consume these things which are going to destroy you.
Tyrell says a whole book of how to sell to a Negro. Yeah, that's where they get the term keeping up with the Joneses.
Yeah.
Home has to be the starting place. I agree.
Man, look, one time.
Hey, hold on, Raquel. Okay. Hey, if y'all watching on Twitter, y'all make sure y'all follow the page on Twitter. If y'all want to comment, come to YouTube or come to Facebook, the New Normal Podcast. What you gonna say, Ashanti?
Yeah, it definitely does start at home. I remember growing up, I had like maybe a C in English, and I had brought it, my progress report. And my dad sat me down and he said, Shanti, English is the only language that you know. How are you bad at it? And that made me feel so stupid. Like I never got another C in English. And I take my vocabulary so serious because I'm like, dang, you're right. He said, this is the only language you know. How are you bad at it? You speak it every day.
Yeah.
C in English and A in Spanish.
Like you.
That's
he said,
insane.
I can see if it's your second language.
That is insane.
And I say that to people now. How are you this bad? You're 35.
But
this is the only language you've known for 35 years.
At the same time, I can agree, but then I can disagree because if you're around people that's also using English improper, then what are you supposed to do?
But this is the thing. If you correct somebody and they know that it's wrong,
that's just a fool.
Most times I have corrected somebody. I already know I can't say it right. Scrimps. Universally, do you hear it as scrimps or just when you talking to your grandma or your granddad?
I mean,
even what else pisses me off when people say whitening, like the fish. Like I want to get whitening. I ask them, have you ever read the word?
Read the word.
It's whiting. Have you ever read it, or do you just hear people say it?
They
wrong?
just hear it and say it wrong.
So, Shonda, what are you talking about with a speech impediment? What you gonna do there?
A speech impediment is not bad grammar.
Yeah.
Let's see. What do they just sound like?
I have a speech impediment.
What's your speech?
I'm sorry.
I'm saying, like, what?
I stutter.
You stutter?
I do,
I
but
got one too.
I have to think about, like, I just try to slow down. I don't
I
do
got
it
one.
often, but I used to.
Oh, I
But
do
a
it a
speech
lot.
impediment is not bad grammar. So if
I
they have a
mean,
speech
right.
impediment, I just have to listen slower and, let them get it out.
So we retarded together.
What he
I'm
said?
not.
What they come in and say?
The comment said, I saw a preacher say he hated. I saw a meme of a preacher saying he hated that it was the 50th year hip hop anniversary.
Oh, he hate for the hip hop.
Mhm.
Hip hop was manufactured after they saw the power of it. You look at public. Look at when we first came out, Public Enemy,
Right?
Fight the Powers That Be. You go from that, then you get into the Loop, the 2 Live Crew, then you get into the Easy Ease,
Mm-hmm.
and then after the Master P's come up, then all of a sudden it's a strong language about ops and all of this, and it's permissible at this point.
Right.
And you look at the culture, the dress, and the rappers and the niggas that ain't rapping dressing the same. They acting the same, talking the same, trying to live the same lifestyle. It's all manufactured after that point.
Yeah,
We just don't want to throw it away.
I agree with that. Like I said, we can't act like they say. Well, if you grow up in church, they always say that Satan was the musician. So when you understand the influence of music, how music is way more influential than the actual visual of seeing people get killed on TV and how they got to make it more gruesome. Every so often, your Quentin Tarantino, the blood splashing all on the screen, and your scary movies, and people are saw it, people are holding intestines getting ripped out, but it don't influence you like music do.
It's the frequency of music,
right? And people don't understand that it's a science behind everything. But like I said, motherfuckers don't even study and be in science and shit. So I don't know. Like I said, I just know that we got to separate ourselves. We got to be a different time. And y'all got to take care of y'all fucking kids. Y'all need to watch them. Ain't no breaks. Mom and daddy don't need no breaks. You can't get tired. Your kids don't get tired. They don't get tired at all. If you got kids, they don't get tired at all. So you ain't got time to be tired.
I ain't got none for that.
Don't have them. I said most people shouldn't have kids. It's something that having kids is a labor of love. Sometimes it can be frustrating, but sometimes it can be very rewarding. Seeing something that you put time and effort in grow. For instance, in February, we took my son to Disney World. And when we took him to Disney World, we was in the airport. Me and my wife was sitting there while we was at the airport, and this older white couple came up to us. Now, everybody on this plane is going to Disney World because it's an Orlando flight. So everybody at this time is going to Disney World, right? All the kids running around acting buck wild. I'm talking about parents just let them do whatever, running, screaming loud. I'm talking about loud as shit. And then this older white couple came to us. It's like, we could tell y'all work very well with y'all children. And I was like, thank you. He said, you won't tell you how I know. He just looks around. All the kids just gone, just losing. I'm like, I told my kids to sit down. They sat down. Then move, one trying to be like the other kids. And I'm like, yeah, I work with my kid because I don't like no badass kid. I really hate that shit. You know what I'm saying? I like I said, I understand that they're kids, but when we go out in the public, I'd rather you be very good in the public and I train you to. When we got there, you act a certain type of way. We ain't here. This your house. You do what you want to do. You know what I'm saying? As long as you ain't disrespectful, you want to jump out the furniture, the table. I don't really give a damn about that shit, but act like you got some sense. You know what I'm saying? But though it made me and my wife feel good that somebody knows what it takes to be able to have your kids just sit there. Their attention span ain't that long for them to actually just sit there. Yeah. And like I said, this couple came up to and told us, we can tell that y'all doing good. We commend y'all on that. And I was like, okay, that made me feel good as a parent that somebody recognizes that I don't even know, never seen the man again, didn't even see him at Disney World because he was going to Disney World with his grandkids. And I'd never seen him again or nothing like that. Just randomly come up and tell you stuff like that. So, like I said, it makes you feel good as a parent that you can, somebody commends you, tell you doing a good job. What they say? Life and death is in the power of the tongue, 100%.
I can't stand no bad children.
I don't like no bad kids. That shit hurt me so motherfucking bad. Like, ooh, if you a bad kid, like, I don't
Motherfucker.
know what it is. Like I don't want to say too much, but I don't know what it is about a bad child that just irk my nerve. And then I don't like bad kids that come from 2-parent households too. Like, I can understand if you
You'll
got
be
a
the most
mama,
annoying one, because it's like, motherfucker, you don't have to be bad.
right? Like, you got a mama and a daddy. Like, you got two people that's watching you all the time. Like, a mother, you'll be like, okay, well, it's only one person watching. She trying to do it herself. You understand. Maybe I can understand that. But you got 2 parents.
Sometimes just because it's a 2-parent household don't mean that the parents are active.
I agree, and I learned that the first thing recently. Yeah. But that shit, I don't even want you. Your kid bad. I don't even want your kid around my child at all. Like, they can't be. I don't want them around my child at all. Like, and I know a lot of people think you're not supposed to say that, but yes, there is such thing as badass kids. There are such thing as kids that are going to grow up to be murderers, rapists, suicidal, have psychotic issues. Like, you can see this at an early age. A lot of people don't like to say, "Oh, you don't know how it's gonna be when they grow up." No, you can see that this little motherfucker is off his rocker right now.
Jeffrey Dahmer daddy said it.
Yeah.
But they got telltale signs. Like, if you a person that like to torture cats, you 5 years old just lying there putting a firecracker up a cat ass, like, that's not normal.
Jeffrey Dahmer said his dad said, I knew something was wrong because the dad said he had it in him to be killing folks too, but he kept suppressing the urge. But he seen it in his son when he taught him how to do the taxidermy, and cut open the stuff and do all that other kind of stuff.
Wow. Right. And so a lot of this shit just passed down too.
Mm-hmm.
So y'all think it's his daddy fault?
I don't think it's his daddy fault, but I do think sometimes, like, I imagine.
Hold on. Let me ask you this before you go. If your daddy say, I seen you was a killer before you start killing, it ain't his daddy's fault for trying to put that in its place.
I think Jeffrey Dahmer had also something mentally going on too. Mm-hmm. And I think he could have went through all of the therapy and corrective measurements that the dad could have put him through, but he was destined to be led with that side of his brain. Mm-hmm. This man sleeping in the bed with mannequins that he stole from a store.
But you don't think, if I know my child is going to be a killer because I'm thinking about killing, I don't need to say anything about that.
I'm not saying he shouldn't have said anything, but I feel like he could have went through everything to correct him mentally. Think about, I really hate to say it like this, but think about kids that have mental disabilities or disorders or whatever you want to call it. It's really no correcting that. You really manage it.
You manage it. You get people around them. You get them certain type of medication.
You don't correct it.
You don't correct it, but you always have eyes of people watching those type of people. Mm-hmm. So that's what I'm saying. Like, you could say, "Oh, my son, he's a killer." I can go to the police and say, I need to maybe watch my son because he's a killer. Because now you can go
to the police and say, watch my son, but
I'm just saying. I'm just throwing it out there. I'm just saying that could be something like that. It could be somewhere you could have someone have checkups on them. They check in the house. Hey, let me see the house. Like a social worker or something like that. Like, it could be a bunch of steps. And if it's not for adults, it need to be something where if I'm a parent, I can go to somebody and they go to this person and check on them, see what they're doing.
For the majority of his life, he did have someone else living with him that was a part of the check and balance. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like, you're living with your grandmother, you're living with a parent. That person, I'm sure, is like, I don't see no weird body parts floating around the house or in the fridge. You know what I mean? So, but like I said, some things are just inevitable, especially when you had, like the dad said, he used to have those thoughts, but he suppressed them. That was a choice to suppress them.
Yeah.
Everybody don't make that choice. And I feel like whether he went through all the therapy in the world, he was still going to do what he was attracted to doing. Because it was not only just a mental thing, he also had a sexual urge for, like, the bloodiness of the organs and all the other kind of stuff too. Mm-hmm. So I just feel like it wasn't nothing that was going to stop that train.
There are instances where parents have reported their kids and no one listened until something heinous was done. I think you can report
hey, look out for this. But if they haven't done a crime,
what you can do?
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's what I'm
It's
saying.
just on watch.
They got to be something. There has to be something to where that should be part of our social contract. If I'm a parent and let's say I birth the Cedar checking, okay. If I know this little motherfucker around here and he doing all this shit and killing and torturing little animals and stuff like that, it should be some checks and balances because, like I said, it should be a part of a social contract that we have that we as parents don't allow our children to offend you, to take you out, to do stuff to you. So it should be some type of checks and balances to
It's
make
the
sure.
same like when people are on drugs, though. I mean, you can only do so much if they don't oblige,
Mhm.
and they haven't broken the law at that point. I mean, using drugs is breaking the law,
Yeah.
but like if they don't want to oblige and receive the help, I mean, what else can you do but just protect yourself, like you would hope other people would do?
Yeah.
That's why they say you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make them drink.
Well, we're gonna play this last video. We're finna get up out of here. I'm finna play this, and
It's my boy Mike Tyson.
Not Mike Tyson.
Mike Tyson ain't bullshit. He going Mike Tyson punch out.
No,
I seen did I send this to you?
I don't think you said this. I ain't say
The dude that's been in New York.
you told.
New tonight, the NYPD investigating a series of random attacks on women. Police sources say at least 7 have been assaulted in Manhattan. CBS 2's Lisa Rosner reports.
I was literally just walking, and a man came up and punched me in the face.
This 23-year-old woman shared her story of being struck in the head Monday on 7th Avenue near 16th Street just after 10 a.m. The viral video prompted these women to share similar incidents on social media. Police sources say the NYPD is now investigating a pattern of at least 7 random assaults on women in the last week. Co-chair of the City Council's Women's Caucus, Julie Menon.
Yeah, this is real. And so we want to make sure that we called it out as such and warn women about this.
Sources say male suspects have struck in Chinatown, the West Village, Chelsea, and Midtown. The victims punched in the head, all of them assaulted while walking.
It's completely unacceptable. These women were literally walking down the street and randomly are getting punched in the face.
Turns out the day after this woman posted on TikTok,
He broke all my jaw and both sides.
surveillance video caught the attack on this woman walking down Grand Avenue in Crown Heights, Brooklyn. Her jaw is wired shut and she lost 3.
God damn, he fucked her up, boy.
That's tough.
Oh Lord.
Teeth. Officers arrested the suspect and charged him with misdemeanor assault, a crime that's not bail eligible. So he's back on the.
Why was she walking right there? It ain't her fault that she got punched.
What you mean?
She was walking close to
It
him.
was like a lot of space.
She was on real close to that.
Like they were about to bump shoulders.
Look at how all of that space.
Yeah.
Look how she walked up.
You know what I'm gonna say? This is some real
Because
shit.
he walking kind of close too, though, the one in front.
Yeah, he walking close. She just followed behind him.
Yeah, I'm just
She
saying.
ain't paying attention.
But see,
though.
as a woman, I'm not walking.
I'm gonna say this. Most women, they in a world, they thinking about a million different things. I hear women talk about this all the time. I got the laundry on my mind. I got picking up the kids. I got money. I got to go work. I got so many things. I'm thinking about so many things. Safety is the last thing on my mind. That is how crazy this is being. Like I got so much on my mind. My safety is the last thing.
If I'm with my man, maybe I'm just in La La Land. You know, I got
they got memes of it.
Huh?
I was to Shanti's point. They got memes with a girl with you do,
Yeah.
and like I'm about to get a drink, and the dude like I'm close to the door. I'm facing the door. I'm 6 feet away from this guy. He analyzing all the potential dangers in the room, but the woman, so in peace with the guy, she ain't think about none of the particulars.
I'm just following him. I will follow this man to the stairway of heaven. You know what I mean? Like I'm comfortable, but if I'm just walking like her, I'm not that close to the crowd.
That is,
but hold on. Though. But at the same time, in New York, how we gotta think about New York. If you've been to New York,
I have.
People are close all the fucking time.
But I've not been on a street. I've not seen a street like this on New York, and everybody is just in this one sliver.
Look, I'm just saying, if you walk by people every day, if you walk by millions of people, what's that? And you've never been punched, You ain't thinking
Yeah,
that.
I mean, yeah,
that's what I'm
that
saying.
is
If you
true.
walk around, because when I was in New York, I stayed in Manhattan, and even at 4:00 in the morning from 12 to 4, it's still millions of people just walking down the street, right?
Yeah.
So, like I said, if you walking past millions on a daily and you've never had nobody punch you in the face, you're not gonna think this man gonna punch you in the face.
You're right.
But the motive, I don't think you're gonna play that part of the video. That's on that longer video I sent you, where they were showing his reasoning behind doing this.
Well, hold on, let me finish playing. You
okay, I'll tell you.
Arrested the suspect and charged him with misdemeanor assault, a crime that's not bail eligible, so he's back on the street. So far, in the Manhattan cases, police have only made one arrest.
It hurts so bad. I can't even talk. Literally, I fell
Cartoon.
Damn, they knotted her ass up, boy.
to the ground, and now this giant goose egg is forming.
Police say the man responsible for hurting this victim is 40-year-old Skabuki Stora of East New York, a former fringe candidate for mayor. Police are urging anyone who may have also been a victim to come forward.
Is there concern that it's not clear that this is all the same person?
It's definitely not clear that it's the same person. In my conversations with NYPD, it seems to be more than one person. One person is obviously one too many, but it becomes even more alarming if this is becoming a pattern in practice.
The victims that have shared their stories say they are doing it because they want other women to be alert and stay off their phones when they're walking in the street. In Midtown, Lisa Rosner, CBS 2 News.
So they punching girls because they want them to stay off their phones?
No, she was saying she's telling women to stay off their phones so they can be more alert to what's
Oh.
happening around them.
Okay.
That's what, like in that longer video. I know we can't really go through because it's like a 40-minute video, but he was saying that like they followed his TikTok, and he had videos of him harassing these women, telling them they're not paying attention. Like a girl will bump him, he'll automatically start recording. Like, you walking too fast, you need to watch where you're going. And he'll follow this woman probably a half a block, trying to stop her to get her to acknowledge her transgression. He said, you need to watch where you're going. Then he was in the store. He was like, see, you bumped into me. You ain't see me right here. It's like he
a weirdo.
Yeah, he weird, and
weird,
he really stalking these chicks for doing something that like, if you walking straight and I just get in front of you, you gonna walk up on me, right? So he making these situations, but trying to react as if he a victim of the situations. If that makes sense.
I get what you're saying.
So I'm saying, bro, you stalking these women and you trying to make it seem like, well, she was on her phone. He was just harassing this one chick, like, you need to get off your phone. He was just kept reiterating it.
He's the type of person that'll hurt you if you don't give him
Oh,
your
yeah,
number.
He definitely giving those type of vibes.
Bro,
Real
I'm
weird.
saying, to get to the point of just goddamn they La Jolla motherfuckers out of nowhere is insane.
Because think about it, how many of those girls probably, he said sucker punch, meaning you looking at your phone, you ain't paying attention. Well, I could have avoided. You know, I was occupied. Like, why I ain't see this punch coming? And that's what he was kind of doing on his TikTok and stuff.
I'm gonna say something that I've always said, but watching this video is making it more evident. I think, let me be politically correct. So since women aren't as covered as they used to be by being married and being only going out with their husbands and stuff like that, you're gonna still see a lot more of this happening. I think you're gonna see a lot more men just hauling off, just hitting women, or I think you're gonna see a lot more men taking vagina. I think you're gonna see a lot more abuse towards women because they can. That's the world that they set up. Because if you go back thousands of years, men have always put their women in position to where men had to where their woman wasn't easily accessible like that. That's why we let women stay in the house, because it ain't too many motherfuckers when they come through this door and do something to you. If you need something from the store, I'll go to the store and get it from you. You need, something out there in the field, I'll go get it for you. Your interaction out there in the world was minimal, unless it's like going to church or something social like that. But just being out there on the everyday beaten path, walking down New York, which is crazy already, is millions of fucking people. You don't know what's gonna happen as a woman. And we can't, I know women like to say they strong as men, and I know it's a talking point. They could do what men do and all of this. Yeah, but y'all didn't take that punch well, and y'all didn't beat that nigga ass. So that's the thing. What you gonna say?
I mean, I can understand the point that you're making, but this is not that. We're in a new age where we have to work and go out into society.
Mm-hmm.
We're also in an age where men and women aren't prompt to being married.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, do you think we should just stay at home? I mean, I don't know. Like,
no, I'm not saying anything. I'm saying the way that women have fought to do these things have also backfired, because I think a lot of times when women fight for things, it's kind of like women fight for things like children.
I do want to say white women have fought.
But hold on. But if you look at history, they jumped on the civil rights movement too, and they had black women join along with them. So of course it started as a white woman's
when you
movement.
say we're equal, right? I do feel like that is a white woman's fight.
It was
that we keep getting grouped into.
Hold on.
I feel like I need to be at home. I just want to be that clear.
I'm gonna say this and say it again.
Okay.
It was started
mm-hmm.
as a white woman's fight.
Yeah, the feminism.
But y'all jumped on the bandwagon too.
I don't think a majority of us have. Do you?
Yeah, from what I see, when I'm playing these videos from 1970s and the black men are having the same conversations that they like to call the podcast conversations. When you see these videos, I got actual video because I was going to start doing, like, I think that's part of what I'm going to start doing is going back and looking at these videos from the 1950s, 60s, and 70s and reviewing and be like, damn, how are we still having these same conversations 50, 60, 70 years later?
I mean, when I see today's women that are vocal about the feminist movement, I'm not seeing a lot of color in marches and protests when they go to these political rallies and they, do whatever to disrupt it.
Because they don't need y'all no more. They use y'all for what they needed you.
So they're pushing an issue that I would imagine that we don't agree with no more.
It was a quickie.
Yeah, we got out of there. We got what we wanted, and we're out.
Y'all didn't get what y'all wanted. The white woman got what they wanted.
Yeah, but I'm just saying they wanted us to be a part of it. We obliged.
I feel like the talking points that
it's not something that we interested in.
I don't know. I feel like a lot of black women are interested in feminism.
I don't know
the benefits that black women got, because you got to understand the white women was
maybe I don't know a lot.
The white woman was the role model, because the white woman, like, let's say you want to take back slavery, the white woman in the house, she grooming the fair skinned black chick on how to act. Act more like, so that's how she started getting that air that she better than the dark skin, because I'm behaving in this, man, I'm more polished, my English is better, my femininity screams more, because I can get my head done, I don't have to bend over and pick all that kind. So when you coming up to now, the women, you look at all the programs, affirmative action, where you got to have a black woman in place. You got these incentives where a lot of industries are, hey, we gonna pay you this, we gonna pay you bonuses to come and work for my firm or work for my industry, because you got to meet the status quo. So by default, you're gonna have one, just like the LGBTQ when I was still working at one of my older jobs, they pulled us off for emergency meeting to address how we supposed to respond to anything that looks like LGBTQ. Versus going into the bathroom, you see a person dressing this way. Like, this was an emergency meeting. Like, everybody had to stop and go into idle, and it was a 10-minute video. We had to watch it and sign that you watched it. So if we did not respond to the protocol in which they say to these alphabet community, we can lose our job. It can be an investigation. It can be all type of shit. So they did that just specifically for the alphabet. This was 2015. That's crazy, like, to have it. So,
for the record, I don't believe in feminism. Yeah. Those ladies need not to be able to get on a microphone.
I agree with you on certain points, because now we are seeing, I'm talking about an extreme amount of women talking about who signed us up.
Oh God, I'm trying to figure out
to work. Like, I ain't gonna lie, and that's been black women. I have been seeing a lot of black women say, who signed us up to work? Who signed us up to do this?
My mama.
I'm tired. I don't want to do this. I want to go to the house. But I still think that's after you fought for something, just like a kid. You don't have the foresight to see, oh yeah, I'm gonna fight to work. And now you in the plant, your back motherfucking hurt, you tired and shit. It's like, I really could have been in the motherfucking house in the air conditioner, but I'm out here with these white women fighting to go to somebody's job, to labor. Like I say this all the time. It is no way, I know this gonna sound sexist, but I don't give a damn. This need to be said. There is no way that I'm working in a plant in Leeds, Alabama. In the summertime, I walk in that bitch when the sun is down at 3 o'clock in the morning, and that bitch is already 110 degrees in that motherfucker. And I'm working and I'm grinding on these brass parts that if you grind it wrong, you cut your hand, it breaking fingers, all this type of stuff. And I got a woman sitting right next to me doing the same labor. When I see men, us as men having the conversation, talking about, hey, bro, nigga, I don't know why we signed up to do this stupid ass shit. And then the women just walking around bopping. Hey, at least I get to pay my bills. Ooh, a payday and shit like that. And all the niggas like, nigga, this ain't no motherfucking money for this shit. My hand getting hit. But they feel like, but a lot of the women that was in there, they were single mothers. So it's like they were able to pay for that. But I'm like, what the fuck? Like they'll bring us a box of shit to put on the table beside the grinding rock. And the women will say, hey, can you help us pick it up? If I got to do your job too, you don't need to be in here. If I gotta come up, because I ain't gotta run it behind me and asking me to pick his shit up, but you want to ask me to pick your shit up? Yeah. Come on now, like no, like that's why I say I didn't fight for it. I wasn't okay with it. I wasn't even born. I don't know a lot of women that in my personal life, the women that I associate would have fought for that. But like I said, we know historically that women have fought for that. And that's why I say when we watch that video of that lady getting punched, it's the reason you're okay with punching a lady is the same thing when I say your kids is bad. People know who coming behind that badass kid. Nobody. You walking alone, just texting on your phone last days ago, like ain't shit going on. Like I'm a man, like I can't punch you. Not saying that he should, but there's always a threat, and there always have been a threat for women when it comes to your safety, when it comes to a nigga rape you. That has always been a thing, and men put it into play to where those things were outlawed. It was a time where men could beat their wives. That was the thing. The rule of thumb is about a stick being the size of your thumb you could beat your wife with. When you hear people say that, they don't know where they come from. That was a whole thing. So like when we having these conversations, I know, like I said, a lot of them sound sexist, but a lot of stuff that y'all fought for was actually protection. And that's why I say y'all don't even understand protection. Y'all got so much on your mind. Safety is the last thing on your mind. But being in the house is the safest place for a woman. Like women didn't like the saying, oh, I don't want to be in the house barefoot and pregnant.
You know, my dad even tell me all the time, like if I'm getting ready to do something, oh, I don't want you to make an unnecessary drive. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I don't want you to have to leave the house and drive over on the other side of town to do something small or simple. And I was talking to my mom, and she was like, I'm always at work. And she was like, I want you to enjoy your life. Like, the working hard is not cut out for my lineage. Okay. I come from women that was taken care of. I'm about ready to go ahead and oblige. I haven't been wayward. But yeah, it's about time for me to go ahead and sit down. See, because this lifestyle is not for me. I don't want to be working hard. I don't want to be like, ooh, I'm working hard. I feel like the reason why the women in my family look good, other than genetics, and you know, we guys' favorite, but it's the fact that we don't have to be stressed out about a lot of stuff and go through a lot of hard labor jobs.
That's why when you see like basketball wise, they be looking young because they ain't doing what a lot of other women doing.
Can I speak to that? Working in that environment, like I said, if you come from a call center environment, I used to work with a lot of women ages from 21 to 60. I'd see these women and all of them they kind of look the same, do the same shit, same type of, and you hear this tone of bitterness because they done got hard and that they got to work. Like this is all they know. They know life ain't getting better after this. This is it. So they find drama is exciting to them. You see them congregate up, gang up. You got the cliques and shit talking about the mess and shit. That's the highlight of the day because I didn't maxed out. I'm only gonna max out at this number. I ain't gonna get the CEO job. I ain't gonna get the supervisor. I ain't gonna get the VP position. I'm just contending this little pocket. And to see like the younger girls going, I'm watching. I'm like, man, she about to poison this girl. She about to tell this girl, yeah, just do this, girl. It ain't hard. You'll get it, and you'll learn to like it, and basically plant the seed of staying there permanent. Like, hey, yeah, you finna be in here with me.
But that's the thing that I always used to say. I said a lot of times these young girls get around these old women who want to sabotage their life because they know they got to tell you that it's the jealousy, and women don't like to admit this, but you hear women say this all the time. I don't like being around a lot of women, not all, but a lot of women say this. I don't like, what is that beeping? Oh, somebody DMing me. Oh, but let me just exit that because I don't want to keep dinging. But women say, I don't hang around with women. I like being around men. And the thing is, when I hear that, it's like y'all know, a lot of women know about the cattiness that comes with hanging around a lot of women, the mess that comes with hanging around a lot of women. And the issue is when y'all have these young girls and you see a bright future in ahead of them. The older women do this when they see younger girls have a bright future ahead of them. They try to sabotage that shit quick. They try to do that quick. Like hearing conversations about being a baby mama. Why the fuck would you tell this young girl that, oh yeah, I had 3 kids. It ain't that bad. If I can do it, they say, if I can do it, girl, you can do it. I hate that saying. If I can do it, you can do it.
I think it's a red flag when I hear women say, they rather hang around men than women.
Mm-hmm.
Like it could be, what you're saying, that they've experienced women trying to sabotage their youthfulness and things like that. I also feel like, is it that you don't hang around a lot of women, or a lot of women don't want to hang around you?
Both could be true at the same time.
Yeah, because why are you not finding community with people that should be very similar to you? Then, like, I imagine the person I marry, that we are, compatible and we have a lot of similarities.
Mm-hmm.
But like, I do feel like we got a lot of things that are different that bring unity.
Mm-hmm.
And why are you not able to find community with people that have more in common than those that have less in common? And I'm gonna tell you this, as a woman, women that say that they don't hang around a lot of women, they only hang around dudes, they be the ones you don't want to hang around. They quickly show you why they don't have no female friends. I swear to God.
I'm gonna say this: when I hear women, other women that I know that say that, and just thinking about them, most of them think differently from most of the women that I say that. And I ain't gonna say that. To me, it seemed like the stuff that would stress out a lot of other women, typically they just easy going. Most of the women I ever been around that say they don't like hanging around women. They just easy going. They ain't high strong. They not real emotional. They view the world in a different perspective. Typically the women that I'm thinking about. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, this is from my experience.
Yeah, just the different perspectives.
Yeah.
But I promise, if I see a girl, she's like, oh, I don't hang around girls like that. I don't want to know why. Because it's a reason why you've been discarded. I hate to say it like that, but it's the reason why you over there by yourself.
Disqualified.
You got anything else? Hey, y'all be hold on. Let me see what Mama said. Ryan Ells, what I'm saying is says it's our fault that we work outside the home. Being outside is getting women punched as opposed to being a stay-at-home wife. Then there are men who want a 50-50 woman. Which is it?
See, I do understand that.
So
not that you blaming us, but like what you said.
But women did fall for that.
No, not that part. But like you said, it is more protection for a woman to be at home and let her man lead. But you are a man of more conservative beliefs in that regard. It's some people that feel like, shit, I got to get out here and hustle up and down these New York streets. So do you.
See, I don't feel that way. And like you told one of them last time, why don't you find you a man that believe in the beliefs of you staying at home? And that just would have boiled down to, like, if your man tell you he feels like you're protected at home, then he should be able to fund you being at home.
I agree.
Don't go ahead and date a nigga that want to go 50-50 with you. And that's how you solve the problem. But we, like I said, and everybody can agree, I don't think nobody will argue that it would be safer for a woman to be at home.
It is gonna be some people that argue with you.
People just, like I said,
I agree with you 100%.
They just want to be a contrarian. That's all it is. What you gonna say?
Nah, I was just saying, I agree with that. Like, you minimize things. We don't want to minimize. We want to everything. We can do whatever we want. We got this bubble in this culture. You can go wherever you want, travel. You got these women going abroad, thinking they can take that shit to Dubai and all of that and go to jail. It's just, I think our society makes us think we're better and more privileged than what we truly are. And we start taking it to the head when we can practice it. It's one thing a person telling you, is another person, well, this woman beautiful, this one may not be so attractive, she getting her way. You're not gonna be able to really talk to this one because she she got the results of her. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, that go back to, like I said, women kind of are like children in the fact that we ain't checking a lot of like women over here on how they act. So like the lady that went to Dubai that thinks she can cuss out a man over there in Dubai because you could do that here. No, bitch, your ass finna sit in jail.
Oh, she went to jail for this?
Yeah, she went to jail. You can cuss out men all day long in America, call them bitch ass nigga, actually fight men. And it was one point in time that if a domestic violence case was a police was called on a domestic violence situation, typically the man was going to jail. So you had protection about you acting an asshole towards a man. And they didn't even investigate if you were the one that started it. And we now know with a lot of information and statistics that when it comes, especially black relationship, that most of the fighting is mutual. Like people always be like, Ike beat Tina, but then when you look at her interview, like he didn't beat me. We was in there fighting.
He just won.
Yeah, we was fighting. So like I said, and I always say this: if you look at the state of black men and how black men were in America and being enslaved, when you think about like stuff like butt breaking and shit like that, there ain't never really been a time when black man had power over a black woman. Period.
That's a fact.
And so when the people be like, that's why when we talk about the feminism movement, it was always weird for a black woman to jump on that bandwagon when black men never had authority over black women like that.
I'm ready for somebody to take authority.
Let me see if I can find this video. I think this is it, but I'm going to show you this.
Who going to eat?
I don't know. What y'all trying to eat? Oh, man, I might not have it on here.
Slice got that late night slice.
You trying to go to Slice? I want Slice. I don't want no taco.
I gotta make a stop.
Hang it, I might not have it on here no more. I was gonna just play that video that we watched from the 70s.
Oh, I remember what you talking about.
The old one.
Okay, so y'all.
That bit was ugly.
Say
that. Say physically challenging.
Shit, yeah, sure.
That motherfucker.
That's the one. That's the one that cooked that what you call it, had a breakout.
Meatloaf sandwich.
Yeah, she cooked some rat or something.
Oh God!
And she broke out. Or something. It was something like that.
Oh, I'm sick.
Oh my God!
The meatloaf sandwich is insanity.
What's next? Sid, what we got? Come on.
She had to go back out there and get that money. Funky or not, these niggas got to pay up. But yeah, hey y'all make sure y'all follow the page. If you over there on Twitter, y'all make sure y'all follow the Twitter account, because we're going to be back tomorrow and we're going to be talking about Diddy. And the conversation we're going to have tomorrow is, do black men ever make it out clean? That's the question that we're going to have for tomorrow. So y'all make sure y'all tune back in tomorrow. Also, if you ever want to come over here and comment on the channel, you come to YouTube on the New Normal Podcast, or Facebook, the New Normal Podcast, or IG. I might set it up tonight. I think we can go to IG. Should we go live on IG now, right? I'm gonna set up IG, but on IG is New Normal Pod 20, Normal Podcast 20. Y'all make sure y'all follow me on all that. We're gonna let everybody give their salutations on the way out. Go ahead.
It's nice doing this. We back at it again tomorrow. Y'all tune in.
Mike.
Like, share, subscribe. Like, share, subscribe, and like, share, subscribe. That's all I got. Man, Shanti, don't start your shit. Come on, man.
Hey y'all, it's your girl Ashanti. I always end with this quote: when you raise the barrier of entry, you force the standard to rise. Make sure you drink plenty of fluids like water, so you don't, end up like Chris tonight.
I need a gunshot.
You can follow me on social media platforms at Ashanti Jordan.
Next Sunday, April 7th, City Walk, 12 p.m. to 6 p.m. Come check out the Legacy Moon Vintage Pop-Up Shop. Follow the page. Follow the Instagram, Legacy Room _vintage, and we out.
Peace.